it's Tamika, and today is day 6 of the 12 days of Christmas. So, today I am going to steal Melanie's topic for today. I saw her post a link in Facebook, and her topic was, why did you have weight loss surgery? Or why did I have weight loss surgery? So, sharing that to completely be on the record in case I've never completely said it. I think you guys have seen my journey. Those of you who've been with me from the beginning, but I don't know if you know, outside of just being a person who was overweight, why I decided to even explore weight loss surgery. So I'll go ahead and share a little bit about that. And first of all, I'll start off by saying one of the reasons was related to my mother, whose death certificate, her primary cause of death reads heart failure. And I am an only child. My mother has always been around 100 pounds, 100, and I think she said her highest weight was when she was like full-time pregnant with me, and she was like 129 or something like that. But she's always been a very small person, and I thought when my mom got sick, she was in the hospital, crashed, and they revived her, but she never came out of that. She was in a comatose state, so from June until end of November is when she finally passed away completely. And I say completely because I feel as though my mom was gone in June, and she sort of was just in that place for those months. Being an only child, I had to make all the decisions for the most part from afar. I'm from LA, so she was in LA, and I'm in Northern California. That was very difficult. That whole wondering what my mom would really want to happen, because we, of course, never had those conversations. My mom was 51 when this happened, and so we never, sat down and had conversations about, what her wishes were. And so, being in that situation, knowing that I was overweight, knowing that I had been overweight, knowing that I felt I was like miserable. I can feel the weight affecting my body. I remember being on a cruise the summer of 2008 with my girlfriends, and I was so miserable. My feet were swelling, my knees were hurting, my back was hurting, the heat was hurting. It was just like, this is not fun. We were on a 7-day cruise. I swear I don't know where I went, because I was so distracted by my weight, and it had become such an issue for me. And actually at that point I was already in the bariatric program, but my mind hadn't quite clicked that this was really what I should be doing. So let me tell you a little bit about that. I went to my primary care physician. I said, hey, this is a situation. I've been with Kaiser forever. I'm 19 and a half years now, so I don't know how long I was back in 2007. It's 2011 now. I don't feel like doing the math. But I had, went to him and said, I'm blocked. I've been in this insurance for all these years. I'm overweight. I don't have any comorbidities, but I feel like I'm going in that direction. And I feel like I cannot do this on my own. I'm sitting here looking at the situation with my mother, and I don't want my children to ever be in that situation because of my weight. So no, weight wasn't the reason why my mom's primary cause on her death certificate was heart failure. However, I felt as though being overweight would only help contribute to something like that sooner, if that makes sense. And so being in that situation, dealing with that whole situation with my mother, knowing that I have 3 children, I knew that it was sort of like right in my face, hey, now is the time for you to really do something about this. So I went to my primary care physician. I think it was either the end of October or the beginning of November. So that would have been before my mom actually passed away. And, you know, I gave him this whole story. And it was sort of like, you know, I just need help. I need help. And there's all these things out here. I had already gone to 2 lap band seminars. You can go to www.lapband.com and sign up for a seminar in your area. So I had, outside of my insurance, already gone and started exploring because I wanted to go to my doctor equipped with information. So if he said something to me, I would be able to, you know, be knowledgeable enough to say, but no, this is why, or this is, you know, whatever. And I did. I sat there and I had an intelligent conversation with him about why I felt like lap band was the best for me. And so that leads me to another question. Why did you go the route of lap band? And I went the route of lap band because I couldn't wrap my mind around Roux-en-Y. I couldn't wrap my mind around having my a part of my stomach cut off and sort of floating in my body. And it was so big. It was big. It was too big. And so I felt like lap band was something that I could wrap my mind around, I could understand. And so that's the reason why I wanted to go that route. And so the day that I sat there with my primary care physician, he actually sent over my referral to bariatrics right away and said that I would be hearing from them within, you know, a period of weeks or something like that. And I heard from them, and I went to orientation December 7th, 2007. So a new me, 1109. Did I say 1108 when I first started? I don't know. But it's 1109. And it's 1109 because I had surgery November 9th, 2009. So hear me, I went to orientation for bariatrics December 2007. And so once you get in the program, you're pretty much in the program. You just have to go through the classes, do the psyche eval, pass that, meet with dietitians and all of that kind of stuff. And then eventually you get to your surgeon. And so I got to my surgeon that summer 2008, but my mind wasn't ready just yet. It still wasn't ready. In fact, when I won that cruise that I told you that I was miserable on, I was taking all of these before pictures. Like, it was like in my mind, like, okay, every picture that I could take, every picture they took of me, I bought. Because I was saying, these are my before shots. And I'm going to, at some point, be on the other side of it. But my mind had to catch up and all that. My mind didn't catch up until the summer of 2009. And, you know, within 2 months after doing what I needed to do, I had my surgery date. So, you know, my journey is not a quick boom, I go and I got, you know, a referral and I went over there and in a couple of weeks I'm having surgery. I really did a whole bunch of processing and thinking and sorting this through and making sure that I was really making the right decision for myself. And there was a lot of fear associated with that, and I had to work through all of that, and I'm losing my best foodie friend, food, and, you know, I won't be able to run to food for comfort and for joy and for, you know, to fix boredom and all. I had just worked through all that stuff. And so if you're a pre-op person, make sure that you take the time to work through the stuff. You know, but the number one reason was, you know, I saw my mom in that state. I didn't want to be in any type of state physically where, because of my weight, I'm making myself have these other health issues that one day my children will probably have to deal with. I wanted to be around for my kids. And I knew that it was the time for me to actually do something about it. So that's my reason. Feel free to share below your reason, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.